Doggone it. We get down here to the lake and the water's so muddy, we might as well load the boat and go back to the house. Don't say that. You might be missing the day that you'll catch one of your all-time best bass. Hello, everybody, and welcome back down to the shop. Glad you could join me today, and we want to talk today about muddy water bass fishing. And believe me, like I said in the intro, you might miss your best day of catching bass in muddy water. Think of it this way, and I've said it a lot of times, that bass are just like people. If you are in a room and you turn the lights out, totally dark, what are you doing? You're reaching for a wall. You're reaching for something that you can touch to get your bearings to where you're at in that room. Then you can find the light switch to turn the light back on. Bass are no different. When the water gets muddy, they are going towards your structure, your laydowns, your rock, whatever that might be, because they want to be next to something that they can see or they can feel or they know where they're at. You won't find them out hardly suspended in muddy water. They're going to be going towards the bank. They're going to be going, in deeper water where there's something under the water that they can be up next to. So let's think of it like that. That's just like being in a room with the lights out. They're looking for something that they can get to get their bearings where they're at in that water. And whenever that happens, you know where to fish for them, because that's where they're going to be. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to be on every piece of structure that you come on, every lay down, but that's where they're going to head to anyway. And you just got to be patient. That's the number one thing that you got to do, is be patient when you're fishing in muddy water. Now, really, really cold muddy water, that's a different story. That's some tough going. If the water is fairly good temperature, that's where they're going to be. They're going to be close to something that they can actually see. Now, just 2 or 3 lures to kind of give you an idea of what to use. Whenever that happens, the very first thing I'm going to throw is a dark colored chatterbait. Chatterbait gives them something that they can see, possibly, that they can see, and best yet, they can feel it. They can feel that thump of that chatterbait going. I'll put me a dark trailer on the back of that, and that's what I will use first, is something dark and a chatterbait. Red and black. That's really good also, because of the red strands and the black blade, and it's thumping, and they can feel that. Probably the next thing I'm going to use is a crankbait. And when I use a crankbait, there's only one color that I'm going to use, probably. Chartreuse, with a dark color on its back. Chartreuse purple, chartreuse and black, and they're going to make noise. They got to be able to hear them. They're going to see it coming, because you're throwing it at that lay down and it's bouncing off that lay down, and that's going to get you a reaction strike. Chartreuse is the best color you can throw in muddy water, and a dark colored on its back. Now, sometimes you got to kind of work with them, but you might want a chartreuse and black that is silent, like this Spro. See, it's silent. At the same time, you don't want to spook them and work up on them that it scares them and they run off. So that's your next best choice, but it's always chartreuse. Chartreuse and black, chartreuse and dark purple, whatever. Another one that's good is a Magnum size worm. Texas rigged, black, because you got to stick with the dark colors. And what I'll do, I will Texas rig this, and they make little rattles that you can put, and I'll take and put me a rattle in the end of it right there, because as you pick it up, it's going to rattle, and that'll draw them to it. That's your third one. Now, another really, really good, and I'm going to show you a trick now. I'm always going to try to show you a trick, is a mop jig. Big profile, big, 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 because they're looking for something that they can see very easily. It's got a rattle in it. And what I'll do, I'll take and I'll get me just a small black finesse worm. Not a crawl, not any kind of crawl trailer. But I'll take that finesse worm and work it right up there just like that. And that right there will get them out of there. Yeah, I don't know what it is about that small black worm on the back of that mop jig. It's just like, looks like a big meal, and it's going to go up next to them. They're going to see it, but you know where they're at. That's another one right there. And also, I'll throw a darker colored trailer, you know, with that. Some kind of red, orange on that. But this right here on my mop jig, if I'm throwing up in muddy, muddy water, like we're talking about, that's what I'm throwing, is that right there. So I hope you enjoyed those few tips that we got. And if you will, subscribe to the channel. I humbly ask you for that. I appreciate each and one of your subscriptions. And I'll tell you something else, if you will. Go to a channel that I've discovered, Stephen Smith Outdoors, and subscribe to that. That's a really good channel. A lot of good content. He presents it well, and I was blessed to discover it. So check out his channel and continue to follow this one. I appreciate your subscriptions and your likes, and you just don't know what that means to me. So until next time, come on back down here at the shop and we'll share some more secrets. Thank you.